Welcome back, guys. Time for another faction preview for Warcraft Total War, and this time we're doing Theramore, and it's very similar to a lot of the other human factions. However, what makes them different is that they have a lot of non-human units, elven units, dwarven units, units from smaller human kingdoms which fell, like Gilneas and what's the other one called? Dalaran. So, pretty versatile faction for a human faction, a lot of variety. So, like always, let's begin with the trash, human spear, militia, terrible, bad stats, no good abilities, and also they can't stand in line. They wander around, horrible. And everything that I said about the spear militia is also true for the sword militia, so completely ignore those, they're not good. And then, like always, we have the human pikemen, which are good against cavalry. They can do a spear wall, but their stats are a little bit low. But just as is the case with other standard human units, you can upgrade their armor a lot, and that makes them a lot better. So definitely, if you're going to use these guys, if you need them against enemy cavalry, upgrade their armor. Build up your blacksmith. Same is true for the human footmen. You can upgrade their armor. However, they have much better stats than the pikemen. And they can also do a shield wall, which is very useful, gives them a nice boost. And then we have our first unique unit for Theramore, and that is the Gilnean Claymores, and they're pretty good. 12 attack, 14 defense. They already come with pretty upgraded armor. It's a shame that they don't have armor penetration because they have these huge Claymore swords, but you know, still a pretty good unit. Another unique Theramore unit are these guys, the Theramore Golden Pikes. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of their armor. They look kind of whack, but they have good defense. They can do a spear wall. They have a bonus against cavalry, and most importantly, they have armor penetration. That makes them quite good. That makes them one of the better spear units in the game. Because imagine you have heavy cavalry charging in. Not only are they going to be highly effective because of the bonus against cavalry, but they will also have armor penetration, and heavy cavalry usually has heavy armor, so these guys are really good. Then we have the regular human spearmen, the human sergeants, and then same thing as with the footmen and the pikemen. They start off with very little armor, but you can upgrade that and make them even more effective. They can also do the Schildtrom formation, which is pretty good, especially if you're surrounded. And then we have the typical human shock troops, dismounted paladins, and I've said this all the time, this is one of the best units in the game. 14 attack, 24 defense, 3 hit points, and the much needed effective against armor, which, you know, I call armor penetration, that's what it is. Then we have the bow militia. They're the only kind of okay militia unit for the humans. You know, they're okay as a garrison, but the human archers, on the other hand, are much better. They have both armor penetration and long-range missiles. They're pretty cheap, and you can upgrade their defense, as is the case with the other standard human units. Human crossbowmen are pretty good as well. They have armor penetration as well. However, the human archers are better because the human archers also have long-range missiles. But crossbowmen, they're pretty good too, not bad. Human riflemen, same thing with them. You can upgrade their armor. They have armor penetration, pretty good. So all three of those are worth recruiting. Human archers, human crossbowmen, and human riflemen. But prioritize recruiting human archers because they have that long-range missile trait. Then we have another unique Theramore unit, Coltirus Marines. They are basically upgraded versions of the human riflemen. So this is the human rifleman, and then bam, Coltiris Marines. Slightly better melee, slightly better missile attack, and slightly better armor. But other than the slight stat boost, they're pretty much the same as the riflemen. Armor penetration, good morale, and that's it. So it's pretty cool. And I like how they have a different color scheme. They're green instead of being yellow and white. Then we have Dwarven Riflemen. And yeah, they're pretty good. You know, effective against armor. And a higher missile attack than the human riflemen. So these guys can be pretty devastating against armor units. Then another unit that's unique for Theramore, at least compared to the other human factions, are these beautiful Elven Rangers. Very good unit. Armor penetration, long-range missiles, very good missile attack, high defense, all around really good unit. A little bit expensive, but I think it is worth the price. Then we have the Water Elementals. Very good unit. Armor penetration, well, of course, because they're a magic unit. Extremely high defense for a magic unit. That's actually shockingly good. 26 defense and 3 hit points. So they're spellcasters, but because they're elementals, they're much more durable than, let's say, a mage or something similar. Then we have the Theramore Arch Magi. So they're supposed to be like very, very high tier spellcasters, and I guess I can see that they kind of are. Not the best in the game, but definitely better than average. 15 missile attack, 9 melee attack, 9 defense, 2 hit points. Yeah, pretty good. A little bit pricey, but I think worth the price. Then let's talk about cavalry. Human cavalry, pretty terrible cavalry unit, to be honest, but at least you can upgrade their armor and get that from 12 up to 14. Really low attack though. I would recommend against recruiting these guys if you have access to the Knight's Bodyguard, which is a pretty okay General's Bodyguard. Let's take a look at it. Comes upgraded with armor, 23 defense, 10 attack, you know, not bad. Then we have the Eagles, and don't get these. Even though they have a lot of these abilities listed, they have armor penetration, they scare enemy units, all this stuff, their stats are completely horrible, especially their defense, and I don't think you can upgrade their armor, so they're very squishy. And they cost 4k. Definitely not worth that price. Terrible. Now, let's look at the remaining units that I had to put on a second AI army. We got the Flying Machines, which we've talked about before. They're okay. They're very durable, but their attack is low. They're a little bit pricey. And then we have the Steam Engines. It has amazing stats, but unfortunately it is a unit that is still bugged. It usually is not able to attack properly. And because it's bugged, the price of 10k is way too much. Don't get it. Doesn't work right. Then we have the Trebuchet, same as in Vanilla Medieval 2. It's okay. If you're laying siege, it's okay. Then we have the Golems, which are extremely good. Like, you would think a unit this strong would look a little bit better. It kind of looks like a collection of turds, to be honest, but extremely good stats. 23 attack, 40 defense, 12 hit points, inspires nearby troops, has a special attack, scares enemy troops. Extremely good. Really good deal for 4k. So as soon as you can afford them, get them. You'll probably be OP once you get them. Then we have the Dwarf Cannon. Pretty good. Better than the regular cannon. Definitely get it if you're laying siege to a settlement with high walls. Then we have the Human Great Cannon. I think this is stat-wise the same as the Great Cannon and Medieval 2 Vanilla. It's yeah, you know, it's alright. Not as good as the Dwarf Cannon. Then we have the Mortar team. Same stats as the Mortar in Vanilla. So it's okay. If you need it, use it. Mounted Paladins, a very important unit for any human faction. Extremely, extremely good unit. 18 attack, 33 defense, 8 hit points, armor penetration, and then to top it all off, it's also fast moving so that you can just very quickly move around the battlefield, use them wherever you need them. Extremely good unit. It's 4K, but doesn't matter. As soon as you have the money, get these guys. They're a must-have, even more so than the dismounted paladins. When they're mounted, they're much better. Let's see, even the stats are different between them. Then we have another unique Theramore unit, Theramore Cataphracts. Very, very heavy cavalry, 13 attack, 28 defense. That's extremely high for cavalry. 2 hit points. Definitely worth recruiting. And then I think last but not least, we have this special unit. This is a very rare combo. They're spellcasters who are mounted. The mounted Archmagi. Very good missile attack. And they're fast moving because they're on horses, but they have the devastating punch of a spellcaster. So they're very good, very useful in intricate tactics. You can go in, hit them hard, run back. Very, very useful. Extremely good unit, and also very formidable enemy if you face them on the battlefield. And yeah, that's it for Theramore. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, helps the channel a lot. Subscribe if you want to be notified for more Warcraft Total War videos. And I'll see you guys on the next one.